Oh, we're back, man. Hey, make sure.
Listen,
We got guys who got some good shirts on. My shirt tight, theirs loose.
Yeah.
Who is it, make sure?
man, LigoSports. We're gonna
Let Rodney introduce these guys, man. Introduce the gang, Rodney.
Hey, we appreciate y'all having us.
No doubt, no doubt.
You know, LigoSports, my guy, co-founder, Landon Robinson. We are a new startup. So we are focusing on this whole AI piece.
Okay.
So we're taking this to a whole new dynamic for these coaches. Right now we're, getting into this football season. So, just empowering coaches, time-saving tools, taking this whole scouting and opponent scouting to a whole nother level. Just taking that information that they're utilizing from Huddle, Game Changer, whatever it is that you're getting these CSV files from, we're taking them and simplifying it. Taking all the guesswork out of all of that data that you're gathering, trying to figure out what to do with it after you retrieve it.
Set up so I can make sure.
So
I'm gonna be a hater for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Please do. Why are we bringing AI into football, man? Tell me what I'm missing. Talk to me. I'm so old school. You gotta realize I'm a Niners guy. I'm still pen and paper.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
he got out of coaching before Huddle became president.
Yeah, when Huddle started getting out,
he retired.
I was still the guy that used to drive to go get the tape from the coaches. But talk to me
we
about
saving you time.
I know.
Now you don't got to drive. Waste your gas to go ahead and then try to figure out if the tape still work.
Yeah.
Right.
So I found a VCR.
Yeah.
And
I still got some DVDs, but yeah. So I want to ask this question. AI and what it can bring. You guys are talking about the technology and doing that. What have you seen missing in the game of scouting and producing that you feel you can bring to the sport?
Right. So I think when we talk to coaches, we see that they really want deeper analysis. They get certain analysis with some of the software tools they're using, but some coaches is like, oh, I want more, because everybody's trying to find that edge to win, right? So we think that our platform gives the deeper analysis that coaches need, and also sort of like the real time analysis of, oh, okay, if I need to do this, let's adjust. So it's helping them sort of strategic plan, and I don't think a lot of tools out there, at least as far as we see, can quite do that.
Okay.
And I think if I can, just to touch on it, I think also just taking the guesswork out. So a lot of times when you get it, what can you do with that information, right? So a lot of times what we also heard is that some coaches don't know what to do with it because it's so complex.
Right.
Once you gather it, it's formations. It's a lot of different nuances that they're dealing with, and we're trying to simplify that. So that whole AI piece just instantaneously puts that in your hand. Get you back to coaching, getting these kids on the field, helping them develop, getting them ready. And a lot of times that component is missing too, because you're spending so much time trying to figure it out to game plan.
Right.
So we're saving that time. So that AI piece, you can't, you got to embrace it. Right?
Well, also too, why not AI? In the next 2 or 3 years, every facet of our lives is probably going to be touched by AI. So you might as well embrace it now.
Be in front of it, because you don't want to be behind it.
Yeah, and it is, I would joke that between the last 50 years that we've been into sports, technology just kept getting faster. We can't keep up with it. I mean, you still got to play the game, but if you can just learn and do more things. So we're all for it. I'm glad that there's two brothers doing this, so we're very, very happy that you guys are doing it.
No doubt about it.
Go ahead, Michelle.
You guys were in Texas, and you rolled it out in a football crazy state. Talk about the feedback and how did the coaches receive it?
Man, it was amazing. I think there was some competitors there,
right?
And what differentiated us is, like we talked about, this whole AI piece. This whole AI model is different. A lot of it, like Landon mentioned, and he's the tech guy, so he'll dig deep. I'm trying to just simplify it in its lamest terms, but they were like, "Oh, we need this." Like everyone we spoke to, but not even just that. Just from the football side, the softball, baseball, because those sides are so analytical. When we share that with those coaches, it was they were just, their minds was just like, oh, sign us up immediately. We want to be a part of this, make our life easy, see it, because it's going to allow for them to understand where they, their batting lineups, how to make adjustments. Like this this technology it's scary, but it's also good because
necessary.
I mean it's the easiest term is to be able to say that it's going to give high school sports pro level analysis.
Right. Exactly.
So for minimum cost. So right now, as you see, NFL constantly got the Microsoft Surfaces on the sideline. They're spending millions and millions of dollars. So imagine these coaches getting those necessary resources for a fraction of the cost. Wow. And the technology is going to allow for them to have that. So it's going to change, coaches. It's going to change the athletes, the student athletes. So you have to embrace it, or you're going to be far, far behind.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this when you're an athlete, and now with Huddle you can break it down. And I'm not trying to get too technical, but I want to send this from you guys to somebody. What all can be broken down in your system to send to teams or put it on social media? What's the advantages of your system that can help them out, an athlete? We talk from an athlete perspective.
Yeah, sure. So from an athlete's perspective, data is king. So once we have the data on the team, that means we probably will have it for the athlete. So the way our system is set up, once we have the data, we can actually analyze how well that athlete is doing. So once we have, for example, I can know if a kid for the last 2 games had 13 targets and he caught 1 pass. Maybe I nudge a video to him that says, "Hey, here's how you look the ball into your hands," or how here's how you build rapport with your quarterback off the field. Like to have that.
First of all, you hit 13-1, Coke will be like,
might not be on the field.
Get him out the game.
Look, you saw what the system said, 13-1 catch. I mean, come on,
out of here. Right. I'm just, so it's like. You're right. To your point about the coach, like maybe the coach got so much going on, like he's not playing the kid and he's not worried about how can I get this kid better because he was 1-13 the last 2 games, right? So it's like we're focused, also can focus on the athlete where we provide training, provide additional tools for them to get better.
Wow.
And then on the flip side, and this is the one piece I'm really excited about, like this whole recruiting, like I know, Rodney, your daughter getting out there trying to get scholarships. My kids weren't that gifted to do that, but I know guys that, out there trying to get recruited. And it's a slog. I mean, it's time consuming, right? So our system actually sort of helps with that. Like, let's go identify the colleges that best fits your stats profile.
Wow.
Let's go help you figure out the best email to write when you're talking to this coach or that coach.
Wow. So you can Rodney, you can determine maybe these schools may fit you better.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So the whole the data associated with a player. So he answered your question, but it's deeper also. So the way that we envision it and the technology is letting us is that as it evolves, what we envision from this whole recruiting and student athlete side is a player card. He's gonna say, what does it take to look like an E-Glass or her? Maceo, right?
Yeah.
You want to go D1? This is all that is needed outside of your attributes. Like for football, it's your attributes, which
size, speed,
but that can also be included. He didn't want to deep dive, but I'm going to do it. So it's the technology is catching up to allow for it to happen, and we're saying to look like you got to be working like this. And he spoke on that piece of providing the clips and all of the information you need to know that you're on par to end up at a University of Georgia. And then on top of that, like he said, you don't want to go there because they already got 5 recruits on the running back side. This school is in need.
Right.
And we also are trying to evolve it to allow for them to be able to send that information to these coaches. So if the technology allows for us to take it where we believe it can go, you should be able to see what the next LeBron James, this is how they envision AI. And this man can speak to it. I just think.
Yeah, I think we're on the cusp of, like, I'm a technologist, so I've been around this stuff for a very long time, right?
That's
so
crazy.
the speed at which technology is moving is at a rapid pace, and I kid you not,
It's changing every day.
the stuff, and we talked about this before the show, the stuff that we're doing now, just 12 months, 18 months ago, we could not even do it. We couldn't do it. So the fact that, we're trying to stay ahead of the game, I'm not trying to replace coaches, but at some point, the AI can pretty much anticipate plays, call the right counter plays, because we have all the data. Once we have all the data, and it probably would be more like a very powerful assistant coach. But in order for that to happen, next time, real time is coming in very, very quickly, and we're just chewing on the real time data.
But it's crazy because just think about this. Most staffs, NFL, NBA, big time college football, you have a guy that runs analytics. You have a analytic. You have a department.
Yes.
And this is what they do. They take all of the data and they come up with these plans.
Yeah.
They use it for the draft.
Yeah.
They use it for, like, if you. I ain't gonna ask you, did you watch Hard Knocks? The GM one. Anyway, when the Giants were trying to decide which receiver they would take, so they bought Neighbors, Harrison, and Odunze.
Mm-hmm.
They brought them in. The analytic team loved Neighbors because when they put in all the data, he was more explosive. He had they were like spitting out all these numbers, and it was like, so we were told that Marvin Harrison was the best receiver in this draft. Analytically, it was Malik Neighbors, and that's why they took him at the pick they took him, because it was like Marvin was gone, so you had a Doomsday and Neighbors, but it was like if Neighbors that we ain't wasting no time because analytically. He fits what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So it's how you got to time out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So let me ask this, because I'm gonna be the petty one again.
You are petty.
In your research, how, I won't say accurate, but how reliable has been the data that you guys have been able to produce so far? I mean, I know y'all still learning and growing, but what have you been able to see from what you've been able to do so far?
So what I've seen working with some coaches is that, so the way the data comes into our system, like we ingest the data from the coaches, and we actually rely on the coaches to annotate that film.
Okay.
So they go down and annotate, and we don't have a good baseline to judge.
For those like me, annotate what that means.
You tag every play. You tag the player on the play.
Okay.
You tag the formation.
You throwing big words out there, man. Slow it down a little bit.
So we rely on the
What was
coaches.
your SAT score number?
Hey man, I'm the math guy.
He's the tech guy.
I'm
So
on the whole side.
you got to simplify.
Yeah, man. I'm the numbers guy. But go ahead though. But yeah, that's awesome, man. And I hate to be rude. How did this come about? How did you two? I know y'all might have talked the pregame, but I just got here late because of traffic. So, what made you two get together and bring this great product together?
I'll
So,
let him tell the story.
this is my guy. We've been working together for a long time. And like we said, our kids play sports.
Yeah.
So, happened to be on the soccer field just watching. I'm a math major too. So, analytically, I'm looking like, and it's old school. So the way things are being evaluated, it's all from the coach's perspective, right? But if you're watching the game, you're saying, okay, well, they may have more flash, but like you said, with Neighbors, his numbers. So if you're looking at it, you're saying, well, that person really isn't the best player. It's this quiet one over here that's quietly providing. So with that, and, I just called him and was like, yo, what's your thoughts on, and he's like, oh, man, we could definitely think about that. So and his kids was playing sports too, and we just, like we said, we just constantly back and forth, just brainstorming the idea, and as we were doing so, the technology was taking off from that.
That's what's up.
So
yeah, because I was coaching rec for my son's basketball, and I was very annoyed that I couldn't get his stats. Like they had it written on a piece of paper, and I'm like, I need to look at it later. I'm not thinking about grabbing the stat sheet when I'm leaving. Right? So, it started off as us trying to, make it available to the parents, and then it sort of moved into let's manage the game for the coaches, and then it was like, that's not really moving the needle. And then we found out that coaches really care about stats. They really care about self-scouting. They really care about scouting the opponents. And that's when we started really leaning into the analytical part of the data, the stats.
That's what's up.
Another just piece of this, I'm thinking NFL Combine, MLB Draft. Everybody starting to just like always talk about the analytical parts of these athletes. Do you guys think it would ever be a time where like there's no need for us to run the 40? There's no need to run the 60. All we need to do is just get height and weight, because the film and what's being tagged, that's all we need. Do you honestly think that it's going to come a time?
It's possible. It's no telling where this AI is going. I think, in my opinion, a lot of these professional teams are already integrating AI into the data they already have. They're spending millions and millions of dollars to get that edge, because everybody, think about it. What's the cost of a bust draft pick? Right? So,
but
so at some point in time, so sometimes, they got to figure it out. We already wasted $20 million over here. We might as well just go ahead and just integrate that $20 million into this whole model and figure out if they can save us, a little bit of money so that we don't be making the mistakes that we make. And so that's, in my opinion, that's a possibility.
Well, I think for sure, definitely. Well, I guess the way I see playing out with NFL, they're a huge corporate. They make money, they print money, right? So they love the combine. Like, I see college coaches, college recruiting probably changing before NFL does, right? Because these D1, D2 colleges, they spend a ton of money recruiting, right? If a coach doesn't have to go travel as much, it's going to save him some time. If a coach doesn't have to look at this film or go try to get especially with the kids that don't pass the eye test. Eye test is you got a 6'3",
super eye test,
250 dude that's that's swole. Like, you're not worried about those kids. You worry about the kids that don't pass the
tweener guy.
Right, exactly.
The tweener guy.
So I think you'll probably see that before you start seeing NFL not doing a combine, where you're gonna start seeing recruiting get easier and easier and easier for these college coaches.
Just let y'all know if y'all got any questions. Me and Make Sure are looking in our feeds, and so if you got anything to these gentlemen, please let us know. We'll repeat it. The thing about that, this will also help with NIL, not NIL, but these portal transfers. So now these kids want to go to a different school.
The portal.
Coach can say, let me see what these numbers have been. Not only I seen you on the field, you look like a beast, but you're telling me I'm great, but your film ain't showing that, but also your stats ain't doing that. Right. So your openings at this time. My question is, how many people have y'all introduced this to, and what's been the feedback y'all have gotten from it?
So we've talked to probably over 80 to 100 coaches when we go to these conferences. Okay. And like we were saying earlier, like the feedback's been really good. The one thing that stands out with me with the feedback is saving the coaches' time. Like, they want to really get deeper now. They really want to break down the film. They really want to see trends and tendencies, but they just don't have the time. Yeah. So we heard that a lot, where this type of solution will save them time, right? We're working with a couple schools, high schools in Texas, and they're really excited about it. I'm excited about it. We're seeing some really good things. They're giving us feedback on the product where we can go in and change it. So it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, so we started off in baseball, right? So we were in Texas. So we went to Michigan, we went to Texas. The reception we got in Texas has been huge, right? Because it's so competitive. I mean, it's the largest, one of the largest high schools for,
oh my God,
just that whole state. So they're looking for an edge. So if they could find it, it helps. So from the baseball side, and then it was like the baseball coaches just talking to their football coaches. One of them is a football coach. So he's like, oh, talk to my OC. So it all made sense. And now when we went out there, it's just like this technology, and they're like, oh, we need that. So again, they're saving time, but also finding that edge and understanding that it's a time saver and it's helping the coaches. So they're like, let's get back to the field, let's get back to game planning, right, and let's get these kids prepared.
Come on, GHSA. Don't let Texas and Florida.
That's the big
and freaking Michigan. Right. Don't let them go. I don't want to argue with nobody from Texas no more. I just don't. I don't have the energy. Georgia, this program is in your backyard. What are you waiting on, coaches? Let's go.
With that, though, let me ask this. Out of all the coaches you talked to, which sports have been more eager for this system?
I would say I think it's a toss-up between football and either baseball or softball. Because baseball and softball, they were made for analytics, mainly because the game is at a slower pace. You can capture so much more data.
True.
So I think they're about neck and neck. But when you start talking about some of the analysis you can do in baseball and softball with pitches, pitch types, and pitch counts and different scenarios, it gets really crazy. And some coaches just really get off on some of that stuff.
This crap, my mind is blown. My mind
sitting there
blown.
like, dude, just I'm a math.
Yeah, he's
I'm getting up with the technology, but I love numbers and data and things of that nature. When you're break down, give me a scenario of what a football team would get out. Like if they say, you're talking about players, you're talking about plays. Can you do tendencies? What else can you do with the AI that can spit numbers out for these people?
Right. So I think an example is sort of like down and distance in different situations. So when you start talking about, I'm doing either self scouting or opponent scouting. As an OC, I want to know exactly what this defense will do in these different type of situations.
Right.
We can talk about formations. We can talk about even a hash. We can talk about play direction, left or right. Right. So it's those type of metrics and that we can figure out just based off of that simple set of data that you get just play by play, just tagging it play by play.
OCs, self-scout yourself. You'll break a lot of your tendencies
yes.
if you self-scout yourself.
Yeah, we have graphs that show that if you're balanced or not. Like we were showing this graph of running left and right. No, I think it was running pass on third down.
Yeah.
And the tendency was you was going to pass, but then we also showed another file that showed it was like 48 to 52. It was more balanced. So when you're self scouting, you want to see that balance on certain situations.
All these. Can y'all run something else? Can you get this quarterback under the center? Let the running back run down here.
But it's so crazy because that self scouts piece. So like say if I got all my 3rd and 5 plays, and it seemed like 80% of the time, I'm throwing a curve flat concept. I need to throw that away on 35 because if I'm seeing it, the team that's scouting me,
they're like, hey, they running that curve.
Hey, corner, just drive. Just drive because this is what the data showed that he gonna run.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah.
What in have you seen from yourself about this product? What makes you excited about what you guys got going on?
I think about where the technology is going. I think, as we're speaking and he's, just showing me the AI stuff that's coming out and we're having these discussions and it's about, focusing on these kids, how to make them, player improvements, how to empower the coaches. I think that whole piece is what's exciting. It's like whatever they're thinking, it's a possibility, right? So we've talked to an OC in Texas, and he's like, okay, I'm used to seeing those things, formations, the blitzes. What about these tendencies of just something that he would have never thought of?
Right.
And the AI piece potentially can allow for him to be able to just type that in, and it'll spit it out. So he'll be able to change his game on a fly.
Right. Right.
And he's like, "Oh, you guys could do that potentially." And you know, we're spitting that out as we speak to be able to show him so that, and their season's about to start. So
I be talking trash. You can type all you want. I'm still coming. I'm still blitzing on this down 3rd-and-3. Here we come.
Right.
Double A gap. Here we come.
Right.
You can type it in the computer.
they might know that, so they're gonna switch it up.
Yeah.
So you know, and we think as the data is inputted, you know, they'll be able to see it and be able to know, like, okay, you know, and hopefully it'll be balanced, so they won't guess that he's going to be you coming from the right or the left, and you know they'll be able to counterattack that.
Well, I can see it can work for both.
Yeah.
I'm a defensive guy. I'm like, ooh, usually on 3rd-and-7 or 3rd-and-7 plus, they like this is their
Right. Right.
So it's gonna be not only you. It's almost like chess.
Right.
The data says this. They get my data. What I do.
right.
Who gonna figure it out and
Yep.
make the bet? Because it's still the Jimmy and Joe still got to make the play.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, to your point, for
Absolutely.
sure. Like this, we definitely don't
Absolutely.
want to, act like, analytics is the only way to win. Like you're right, you still got to make a play. You still got
Yeah.
to go and do your job.
Got to catch
right?
the ball, like you said.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like a complementary tool. Like one thing we were showing in text, like our we call them stat cards. They're shareable, so coaches can actually share it with players. So now players can actually have homework and they can go through and look at, oh, okay, on 3rd down, this team is
Yeah,
probably
man.
going to do this, or
Get that text, make sure you like.
Yeah,
Dude, I mean, just think about this, because we grew up in a playbook era.
Yeah.
Had that playbook, you had to go to team meeting, a position meeting with a notebook and take additional notes. Everything for these guys on the Surface Pro, on an iPad. And it's only gonna get crazier.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
I mean, that's what the generation's used to. Like,
Yes.
I call it the scroll generation.
yeah.
They have to have everything on their phone. So
Yeah.
why not put it on their phone?
Way no more.
Was that the thought process for you guys? Because everything, we talked about it pre-show, everything is instant.
Yeah.
Everything is right now. Was that like the forward thinking part of when you guys were putting this together?
No, I think like what you're saying, the technology was evolving, and he's so in front of it. It was just like, hey, what we doing? Oh, we warped and went this way. We
just fell
pivoted
into it.
and like having communication with these coaches, and it's like the easiest thing they want is to take what they got from Huddle and drag and drop. So that's what we're providing.
Right, the
It's
drag
a
and
drag
drop,
and drop.
right.
It's you got your CSV file. You already highlighted everything you needed to highlight. Now you want to know what to do with it. We're gonna simplify that for you. Grab that file, drag, drop, and it's gonna spit it all out for you.
When did y'all establish this? How long have y'all been doing this? I think you said.
We just went live. I think we just went live this year. So we're fresh.
From the idea to where it is now, how much has it developed?
What, about 2.5 years, maybe?
Okay.
We've been sort of grinding on this. It's been a labor of love for the both of us. And, like I said, we kind of started off one direction of kind of the game management, and we just felt like it just wasn't moving the needle. So we just kept looking at it, analyzing this whole situation, and found this. So, I think it's kind of like that perfect storm where we want to do things, but now we know we can because technology is like right along with us. Like technology is riding the car with us when we're talking about what we're going to do with some of these things, and it's just right place, right time.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever like wake up in the middle of the night, like, oh, it's another idea? That's what those creatives do. That's what the creatives
All
do.
the time.
Like
it
me and
doesn't
him,
stop.
I'd be like, hey, dog, I just thought of something.
Yeah,
Right.
We stay communicating.
Yeah.
You got to. You gotta stay in front. So we consistently we communicate daily, multiple times. He sees stuff, I see stuff. We just making sure that we're right there.
You got one of them setups at how you got like the 6 computer like the Matrix.
No, I just got 2 monitors, a couple laptops.
They probably got some certain, some iPads just sitting around.
Feel like how Neo was. Okay.
What's the future?
Man, for me, like So for software, like we're used to interacting with software a certain way.
Yeah.
Point, click, type. But it's no secret that the way the technology is moving, we're gonna have to change the way we interact with computers. And I'm pretty excited of some of the technology, and if we can be thought leaders of how you interact differently with the software, whether it be voice, whether it be video, whether it be images, audio. I'm really excited about that future.
And AI allows it to be real time too, right?
Yeah, if we have the data, if we have the correct data, right? That's a little harder now because again, when you're talking about real time feed and actually trying to understand what's going on.
But I'm saying, like, if you got a team and you say it's 37, it can pull up for you.
Oh yeah,
and put all the data in.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Interesting. So now when we see him out there on the sideline, mates, we're gonna be like, I know what y'all doing.
yeah. Coaches probably want to do that.
They gonna have like 3 guys that are hired with pass in their hand the whole time. Coach.
Yeah, put it in his ear.
But it's crazy. Think about, like, you go to games now, TV's on the sideline, coaches
they got
got
tents
to
and bringing up
and
all-
now you got this other, just one more tool. Mm-hmm. Come on, coaches. What y'all doing, coaches?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. One more tool. It's an opportunity. It's one more tool to assist.
You feel smarter, Glaze?
Oh yeah. I mean,
You feel smarter?
I don't got a coach. I'm just gonna. But I'll be saying, I remember when y'all started.
Right.
Let me ask you this. So I do it with you with this one. What makes you happy about this? What this product and what it's able to do?
I think from the concept of where it started. Like it started because our kids was playing. Yeah, it really is. So it started from soccer. And where it's headed, and like you said, the technology 12 months from
it's crazy.
this point,
Right.
It's like wow. So we're excited that of the possibility. So if we're focused on getting it right, and if we get it right, it'll be a benefit for a lot of individuals. So my daughter's done. She's a senior. She's committed. She's playing, but for the kids coming up behind
Right.
her,
I'm about to say y'all ain't testing your kids. Like, y'all ain't did that yet. Y'all ain't throw their data in there.
No.
Hey, come here. To throw in.
Hey, come here. What's this? Hey, man, we appreciate you guys. I want to know, tell people where they can find you guys and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, go to our website, LigoSports.com,
L-I-G-O. Spell it for you. See?
LigoSports.com. We taking sign up. We can reach out, give you guys a demo, and show you all the goodness we've been baking.
Yeah, we're excited. So again, LigoSports.
Are y'all on social media?
Yeah. So it's LigoSports, IG, Twitter.
So now when you do all of your post-show production,
I'll give y'all a tag. Make sure we do that now.
Yeah.
I'll finish with this, Mace, and we'll wrap it up with this, Mace. If we would have had this, would it have made us better coaches, or we'd have still been? Here's the thing that, okay, I'm evil again. I want to be able to pull up to. I'll be like, come here, man. You talking about your son?
See, that's the evil man. See, that's me.
13 targets.
Yeah.
Now go on back up there and get some popcorn. Serve that popcorn.
See,
let me go.
This would have probably ran me out of coaching faster because again, I don't have to bring you in the office no more and just like or listen, what are you doing tomorrow? Just pull up on your son. Don't tell him you're coming. Just stand on the end of the building and just watch your son.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie.
His body language don't lie. But now I would have all this stuff. Oh my God, it's like 2 kids I'm thinking about right now. I send this dude, this one dad. I sent his dad a file so long, like, hey, listen, here you go, bro. Here you go. Like, he would never stop.
Every time you look,
He was like, Coach Hurd, leave me alone. No, because you keep telling me your son is a first team All-American. The data don't lie.
Yeah, I'd be one of them nerds. Be like, You want to pull out the numbers? I got them right here.
I got numbers too.
Thank you, gentlemen, man. Any shout outs y'all want to do or anything like that?
No, we appreciate you guys for having us.
Shout out to Hassan Graham for making the connection.
We will definitely be in connection. So
Yes.
We're going to probably do some follow ups and some holler at y'all.
So what we need to do is walk them into a couple of those team meetings that people are always inviting us to.
Yeah. So y'all
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we'll definitely we'll love to show them.
Hey, Johnny White, be like, hey, I got somebody. I need you.
We got people that want y'all. We talking, but we got some people for y'all.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so man, we thank y'all for coming, man. Keep doing great. Of course, y'all family now. You know, you came into a studio, y'all like the fourth guest, so y'all special.
Yeah, I feel smarter today, too. I got smarter today.
I still don't feel like I catch your day stuff. I mean, I like the numbers, but
well, I mean, your numbers guy should be simple for you, man.
But you know what frustrates you? You typing on AI and they start trying to figure out your sentences for you. I didn't want to say that. Maybe I didn't want to say that.
As soon as you start, it try to feel like, bro,
I didn't want to say that. I ain't tell you to put all that in there.
And why y'all add that feature anyway?
Hey, man, so thank you, everybody. Thank you to our guy, John, back there, our engineer.
Well, you know, Brandon, shout out to our photographer, 3 Cent. He's here.
I told him to come in.
He's texted. Oh, you see him?
Yeah, I told him to come in.
Listen, that joker there, we started at 7. Yeah. He's talking about, he texted me at 7:07. Bro, we live.
Yeah. Want the door closed, man. I'm going to have him hope we come in with them so we could get him in.
So you saw him all the time?
I was like, and then I thought I texted John to bring
man.
Anyway, man.
Brandon, whatever, man. Whatever, Brandon.
LigoSports, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
And we'll see y'all again next week.
Whatever, Brandon.
We appreciate you guys.
Whatever be.
Crush, Jack, yeah, black on.